Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of General Geekery. I am Brian, and with me, as always, is JD.
Hello.
And joining us is a return guest and one of our best friends ever, Panama. Welcome.
What's going on?
It's good to see you again, man.
Absolutely. It's good to be back.
Did you have a good
Um,
day?
Oh yeah, man, absolutely. It's been a good day. I was just looking around the collection, just thinking about the countdown of things that I got this year that would be like the top 10 or top 15 things that
Yeah.
would like fit for the year. Um,
that'll lead us nicely into our next show because our next show is Brian and I's top 10 acquisitions
oh, absolutely,
of the
man.
year.
Like, is it just toys for you guys, or are you guys doing like everything that is geeky and
I
unique?
am adding one thing that's geeky this year, but it's on a toy, so
Oh, okay, okay, okay. No, that's good, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, mine's all toy stuff.
No, absolutely.
it's technically
You
it's
know, I
toy.
haven't been able to customize much this year. I have been doing some 3D, and I was hoping to show you guys a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But
How do you like the 3D printer?
sadly, no customs. No, no, no customs this year, unfortunately. I would love to get back into it. Just space is an issue.
So, what are you doing? Like 3D, like modeling and stuff for when you
Yeah.
have a printer set up and you
Oh yeah,
can,
yeah, absolutely. If you want to start with that, yeah, no worries. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Okay. Well, let me share real quick with you guys. Hold on. It says, let me request to share the screen.
Got it.
Okay.
Look at us, technologically.
Oh no, no, no worries. Let's see. Okay, here it goes. As you guys know, I do model stuff in 3D. Uh,
Oh,
Damn.
this is my latest project. Any similarity with any vehicle that you might know is strictly coincidental.
of course.
Uh,
It's
so I call this
It
one
looks
my
nothing like anything I've ever seen before.
right, right. Let's just say it's something you've probably not seen before. This is what I call the steel jumper. It's a vehicle. It's supposed to carry one 118 scale figure.
nice.
Okay. It will transform. This is the alt mode. I'm still filling it out. I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress. There's some gaps in there that I still need to figure out, especially because you have to shift stuff around
Yeah.
and some of the parts it's just hard to figure out where do you pack in certain things, right? So
That
there's things that fold and pack in vehicle mode, but they get larger, they get bigger in the alt mode.
Right.
So it's a work in progress for sure.
that is what I call involved.
Oh, dude, this is the craziest project I've done yet. I have been spending a lot of time on this thing,
Oh,
and I've hit some roadblocks. I've hit some roadblocks on this, so I'm just
Well, it
trying to
looks like
see.
those tires could take the roadblocks down.
I've been trying to like figure out like, well, some certain things have to shift in a certain way, and I still haven't figured that out. So, I did print some of this out. If I can show you guys,
absolutely.
here, let me pull
And
this
no,
out.
that's fantastic. I might have made something similar to that, but mine does not transform.
You did actually years ago. You were I didn't know you back then. I found you on DeviantArt just out of
Oh,
chance,
yeah.
and
Wow.
yours. I saw the pictures of it, and I was so inspired by it. I'm like, wait a second, I need to try this. Back then, I thought yours transformed. Okay, and when I saw the pictures, and it had the little Joker was here on the side. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that's genius. That is such a cool looking vehicle.
That's
So,
that little thing with
so
where the Joker is here. That's where I fucked that up with the Dremel, and it went through the body.
ah man, like that thing was so cool. And I saw the pictures of it, and I'm like, okay, I need to replicate this. So I went to the desk, and I started cutting up a vehicle that was similar. And I was okay, let me use transformer parts and stuff like that. And that was my very first one. But yeah, you were the inspiration for it, believe it or
Hey,
not.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Later on, I found out you did it, and I'm like, oh man, like I know this guy, right?
Right?
So I'm obsessed with that vehicle. That's one of my favorite, most iconic vehicles of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Uh,
tell him sometimes he does good work.
dude, like, okay, so here.
Yeah, that's the only thing I wish is actually I have that. Should be sitting right
You
here.
have it?
Oh,
I
yeah.
would love to see it. Like, I'm serious. That thing was inspiration for me. What was this? 15 years ago, Brian?
Yeah, at least.
At least, right? Like this stuff was like around 2010, like it was there it is.
I moved
How
customs
cool.
into this room last
How and that's a leader class Ironhide, right?
is, and that's the
Oh,
name that I gave him. And I got the accessory pack for him, because they made a third party accessory pack for it.
so cool, dude.
So I mean, there is articulated stuff. So like the weapons, I mean that folds back into the arm.
That is so cool.
The panels are articulated. So I mean, it doesn't transform, but it
But
does.
it has, yeah.
It has.
Oh man, that thing was gorgeous. Like I remember the pictures you took for that, and I studied them. I studied them, and I was trying to figure out how you got that stuff to shift around.
The wheels are on ball joints. The roof panels on a hinge. So I mean, stuff does move.
Hmm.
Make it look like it. Yeah, seen that just popped right off, and it's dusty as all fuck.
Oh man, that's just such a great custom.
So yeah, I mean the panels move. Well, that one keeps falling
Did you
off.
cut each individual piece from the vehicle to fit on that? Yeah. Yeah. That's not easy, man. That thing is so angular.
Yeah,
Like it's
it's
it's it's
I
great.
went through a couple Dremel discs on it, and there's a spot where I went through it while I was cutting it, and that's why the Joker is here,
Joker was here. That's cool.
is
That
because
is
he's the one that did the battle damage then.
well, dude. If I ever manage to complete this one, you're the first one to get a copy of it.
Oh
Just
yeah,
because, like, it's
I would love that.
well, this is what I have so far. All right. So I printed the front, okay, the front piece of it. Okay.
Nice.
All right. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So far, like it's supposed to fold like this,
Yeah.
right? Okay. And then this piece right here is supposed to go around and go around like this,
Nice.
like that. Okay. So the back wheels are gonna shift onto this side.
Oh, nice.
It's gonna go
Ah,
right there. Okay. The head, man, it's hard to show because you kind of have to use your imagination for
right.
it. But the head's gonna go here, right? And it's gonna shift down this way in vehicle mode, right? But it's gonna go up like this, right? So that's all I have so far, right?
The scale of that thing
Impressive.
is astounding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
Well, it's supposed to accommodate a 1/18th figure.
no, but I mean, like actually seeing it printed out versus what was in the plans, I realized how what the scale of it is
Yeah,
going to be, and I'm like, that's just amazing. Like
it
It's
really.
that'll be like
getting
a
there. I mean,
centerpiece that you
it'll
could
take
put.
me a while because I get stumped sometimes. Uh, One of the things was the tire, right? So you have a tire and it
Is
rolls.
that printed too?
Yeah, this is 3D printed.
Nice.
So
Okay.
so the tire rolls, but this one is supposed to be part of the foot, right?
Oh, so it's got a
So
okay.
what I was going to do is I was going to separate it,
And hinge
turn
it.
it around, and then this becomes like the foot part of it.
Nice.
Okay. That's
That's
That
the
cool.
foot. So if you can picture it, I don't know, man. You have to use your imagination for this, but the
Oh
foot
yeah.
goes here, this goes up here,
You know
this
what? I
goes
think if you can find a way to make the pieces just float and stay together,
around.
I think you'll really be in the money for something.
I'm trying. This has been like the most challenging thing I've worked on. And since I'm not customizing, I've been kind of working on the 3D stuff.
You know what?
Yeah.
I can't help but think that that is customizing.
Oh man,
100% that's customizing.
it's so far beyond custom. It's so much harder than customizing. I don't I can't fathom how Hasbro engineers, well, not even Hasbro engineers, because I believe it's Takara people in Japan are the people who come
Right.
up with these, right? I don't know how they do it, man.
I
Like
don't either. I mean, it's funny you should say that because I've thought the same thing. It's the one thing I don't get is like how
You
somebody has, well, I want this car and then I want it in a robot.
you
How
want to shift it around.
Yeah.
Well, you know
Yes,
what
it's great.
fascinates me about it is how they'll have different scales of the same character with the same alt mode, but
Yes.
they come out with
Completely different
like,
transforming modes.
yeah, it'll be like
Yeah,
3 years between releases. So it'll be a brand new version of this same guy from the same cartoon that transforms into the same thing, but they will have engineered it in a way that the transformation is 100% different,
Yeah.
and yet you wind up with the same result without being able to use any of your previous tactics to
Yeah.
transform the previous. Yeah, you can't use those again on this one
well,
because it's a whole different thing.
from what I understand, the software is getting better and better,
Uh-huh.
where you can actually see it shift around as you're designing it.
Nice.
So the tools are getting better. And if you remember the movie Transformers, which were super complex back in the early 2000s, right? 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
Transformations were really involved, but now you get more detail, but less steps in your transformation. A lot of that is, I believe, it's just the software. It's, now you can actually do it in software and then see, okay, this works, this doesn't work, you know. And I mean, I might be completely off base there, but I believe that's what it is.
Well, and I
I've,
like how on all the Transformers boxes, you can look and see it'll
Oh
say
yeah, yeah, 28 steps.
transforms in 19 steps, transforms. And so, and I think that's kind of cool because if you're gauging, do I want to buy this one?
yeah.
How will I respond
Yeah,
to it? And you can look at it, and some of them say like transforms in 31 steps. And I'm like, you know what? Anything more than 15 steps, and I don't know. I think I'm going to have an issue with it.
yeah, I think 20 steps is the most for me. After that it's super involved, and that's the issue I have with a lot of third party stuff. A lot of third party transformers look exactly the way they look on screen, but the steps, they're just not fun to me.
No, I bought the Stunticon, third party Stunticon set, never got it transformed into Mensor
Oh
because its
yeah, yeah, I remember
motor was
that.
just
There
a
were a
nightmare.
few. There were a few of
Yeah.
those too.
Oh, and Dayton bought a set of those, and he said it took him hours to figure out how to get it all put together. And I gave up on it. I have all the stuff. It's just in a
Yeah,
hub somewhere. I just never. The individual cars are fantastic and are easy to transform, but
right.
Motormaster is
Just
just.
getting into, yeah.
I never got it. Never got it into the Gestalt mode.
What are you drinking, Brian?
Red Bull.
Oh shoot. We're keeping it PG then, no alcohol.
Yeah, I got to work tomorrow.
Okay. Man, can you guys believe? Well, New Year's is coming, so
Yeah, this year went by fast.
quick, dude. Very, very quick.
I can't even account for how fast this year went by.
Yeah, it just this was one of my Christmas gifts. The wife got me a new hoodie for the house. So
It's very zombie viper.
yeah, I told her there was two
Same,
things.
same tone.
She got home yesterday, and I said, "There's two things I didn't do today." I said, "Number one, I didn't get cold. Number two, I didn't fight for trouble or fight for freedom wherever there's trouble."
Nice, nice. Very, very cool.
All right. One of the things I was gonna do was today was review.
Take your time. I'm in no rush.
All right. So one of the things that I got Emily for Christmas, um, so I didn't get to open it when it came, was the Ghostbusters 40th anniversary O-Ring figure set that came
I
out.
need that. I need that in my life.
Yeah.
Is it still available?
Um, I don't know if the pre-orders are still. That's a good question. We'll have to look before we go. So the box comes and it looks like a VHS cassette box.
That's
It
gorgeous.
has weathering on the box to make it look old.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, the packaging is phenomenal. Um,
Oh man,
it's window boxed, so
so cool.
obviously I've already opened it. Um,
Now this is a gift. This was a gift for Christmas.
actually, I bought two sets. I gave one to my wife for Christmas,
Okay.
so I didn't open mine because I didn't want my wife seeing it because she's a huge Ghostbusters fan, and if she'd have seen
Yeah.
these, she'd been like, "Oh, I want a set of those."
Does she like the cartoons too?
Yeah, she does, but she's more of a fan of the movie.
in the movies.
So
Man, I love the cartoons. What is it? J. Michael Straczynski, the writer for Babylon 5. Uh, I did not know that he wrote so many episodes for that cartoon.
yeah, I didn't either actually.
And he has every episode that he wrote was arguably not for kids. It just had so much depth to it.
That doesn't surprise me. It's probably why I enjoyed it. So the figures are pretty good. They're O-ring.
Look at
Um,
that Peter Venkman.
yeah, the likeness isn't bad.
No, not at all.
I was gonna say it looks like Bill Murray.
It does look like Bill Murray.
He's unique in the fact that he's the only one that doesn't have his boots bloused into or his trousers bloused into his boots.
I've
Right.
seen the movie a bunch of times, but I don't remember that detail. Is he like that in the movie?
Yes.
That's cool.
Uh, got the arm pads, the elbow pads sculpted on. Proton packs not too bad. Um, I've seen better 3D printed ones.
Right.
It's that softer plastic, so you're not going to break it.
Oh,
Uh,
that's fantastic.
my only complaint is that while these are O-ring figures, they are not O-ring.
Oh,
Uh,
the pegs.
the pegs are not the peg holes in the feet are not the same size as any vintage O-ring figure at all.
Oh, okay.
So I am highly annoyed by that.
Right.
The
So
back,
where did those stands come from? Did you have to
Because
buy
you
certain?
can't custom the stands then.
I forced it into the foot.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The
Oh,
wand pegs into the proton pack at the top, um, and it pegs in the back. You can see where it pegs into the.
that is fantastic.
It's not too bad. It's
No,
not
that's I
fantastic,
love them. I love them. They're good.
but it's not too bad. So they, as far as accessories, all four of them come with proton packs and wands. Um, Spengler comes with the PKE meter, which I just lost.
Okay.
Uh, it's on the deck of my flag somewhere. Because I was trying to force a um, figure stand onto Spengler, and
Right.
um, it wouldn't go on. It wouldn't go on, and then I heard this pop, and then something hitting the deck of my flag, and it was his PKE meter, and I didn't.
Oh man.
It's here somewhere, but
I'm laughing because at
And,
least
and
we're
grip,
remarkably
the grip is
consistent.
just a real American hero style grip, right?
yes,
Okay.
the hands are a little softer. The accessories, so the PKE meter, I didn't like it because the handle is really thick, which unfortunately I can't show. The handle on the trap is a little better. It fits better into their hands.
Nice.
That definitely looks like Ernie Hudson. I like it.
It does.
Yeah, they did a good job on the I think I always say the head sculpt makes or breaks a figure, and I think that a super realistic head would not work on the real American style, the vintage style bodies because the detail just isn't there. So I think
Right.
a really good job of getting a likeness that's just slightly soft in the sculpt to make it go with the figure.
These are Hasbro. They're not Super 7, right? They're
Uh,
Hasbro
they are
releases.
Hasbro.
That's
Although
awesome.
yeah, they are Hasbro.
That's awesome.
And then Ray Stantz, the heart of the Ghostbusters.
Absolutely. No, he looks exactly like the likeness is right there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Then he comes with the goggles that come off.
He needs a cigarette.
He does. Yeah, he needs a cigarette hanging out of his mouth.
No, this is great. This is great. Did you customize some modern ones, I believe, at some point?
I did. I've got him sitting right here.
He made a whole box set.
Yeah, I remember that. It's a while back, but I remember that.
Yeah, I've got them right here.
Oh, so cool.
So that is my box set right there.
That is neat, man. That is neat. I need to learn how to do that, man. I need to watch that tutorial of yours and just
Yeah,
do it.
the boxes are pretty easy because you just need to be able to do the graphic art in Photoshop, and then
That I can do. But man, I mean,
I
that's
just have a company that does the prints of boxes for me.
nice.
So yeah, his head race dance head popped off, but
Yeah,
that's
those are
really big
great.
head.
The bodies, they're a Marauder from what I'm looking at, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah. Marauder with Cobra Trooper legs sculpted onto the bottom half.
Cool.
So it's
Cool, cool,
there.
cool.
And then I think I did some sculpting and then like Cobra Commander gloves for the so the gloves are sculpt a little bit.
It looks phenomenal, man. Head sculpts, they're from what's his name?
I think I got those from Craniac.
You got Craniac?
Yep. And
Who
then
else does them? There was somebody else that did them.
uh my figure labs might do them. My action figure
Yeah, yeah,
yep,
yeah.
do them.
I've
And
seen a few good ones.
then the proton packs and the back wands and the accessories all sit in a layer underneath the figures.
Very cool. Oh, I believe Spartan 118 has head sculpts for Ghostbusters as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Spartan 118.
All right. Okay, hang on a sec here. Oops, that's not what I want to do.
That is so cool, man. That is so cool.
So, overall, I think the figures are probably worth it. I think it was a $50, like 49.99. Uh,
Okay.
we're on Pulse. I'm pretty sure they're sold out of Pulse. But let's check Big Bad Toy Store real quick.
Oh
Uh,
no, for sure. Like, man, I that's where I get most things these days. Big Bad Toy Store.
they are in stock and they're 44.99.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Add that to the list.
I'm kind of surprised they're in stock because I thought they had sold out.
Well, a lot of people don't know, like once things get out of Pulse, a lot of people don't know that they branch out to other stores too. Because some
Yeah.
of the Joy Toy stuff, it's that way too. The Warhammer stuff,
Yes.
once it sells out at Joy Toy, you can get them at Big Bad Toy Store and Amazon, you know.
Yeah, I've
Uh,
gotten a couple Warhammer
yeah,
figures off of Amazon.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to review, I'm not going to do it on the smaller camera because it's just too big, is I got this is what my wife got me for Christmas. Uh,
Nice.
What
it is,
is it?
that is the E-Wing fighter from Star
What
Wars.
show is it from?
The show, it says it's from Ahsoka, although it showed up in the comic books, the
I
Dark
see.
comic books, Dark Empire.
Yeah,
Okay.
first appearance was Dark Empire back in 1996.
Man, I
And then,
remember reading that comic book. I have the trade paperback for that, but it's been years, man.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
and
just
then they
back.
pulled it in from the expanded universe for the Ahsoka show.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice, nice.
So it's pretty nice. The cockpit slides. I
Oh,
don't
ooh.
have a pilot yet. There is a E-Wing pilot that's coming out from the TV show later
Okay.
or early next year, I think. So I don't have it doesn't come with the pilot, but it does come with a droid. And then the whole back part comes off and there's storage in the back,
Oh, that's fantastic.
and then the droid fits in there. I don't remember the name of the droid right off the top of my head.
It's
Right.
a reference to Kenner because the style of the head it was based on the vintage R2D2 action figure in
Yeah,
all of its inaccuracy to R2 seen on screen. So they
Right.
deliberately designed that droid to look like the Kenner R2
ah,
and to bring it into canon.
I
So
was wondering about that because it looked like they were trying to do something with the naming convention and I couldn't figure out what.
yeah.
It's a good looking ship, man.
Yeah. The landing gear folds up the and then has goddamn my air compressor. My airbrush or compressor. The landing gear folds up and
That's
then
pretty.
has hatches that close on over the landing gear. The landing gear and the hatches are that softer plastic. So I I know a lot of people say it makes it feel cheesy and kind of cheap, but at the same time, it's not going to break 30 years from now either.
Yeah, it'll prevent you from breakage for sure. Like,
So
that is cool. You know what it
Um,
reminds me of? Old cartoon called Silverhawks.
yes,
Uh, one of the ships in Silverhawks looks just like that one.
it kind of does.
the droid's name is KE4N4. So Kenner 4.
Gotcha.
Nice.
So I love that they did that. I love the naming convention. I love that they brought the vintage droid into canon like this. I hope we
Very
see
cool.
more of those droids.
Yeah.
Um,
So aside from it, I mean, it doesn't have a shit ton of action features. So, the fold up landing gear, the sliding cockpit, and the removable panel and droid. So no light up features, no sound features, which is just fine by me.
No, it's
doesn't need
fine.
any of that stuff. It's
No,
badass just the way it
it's
is.
a pretty ship. Look, I'm a
Well,
vehicle guy, man. You know which ones I like recently were the Buzz Lightyear ships. Have you seen those?
I have seen those.
Man, those are pretty. Hold on, let me see if I can find you one. Hold on.
Uh,
I'll be
this,
right back. Give me 1 second.
yeah, no worries. The sculpt on this thing is fantastic. I mean, the detail in the sculpt is just amazing.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, they did a
It's
fantastic job.
beautiful. I
So,
like that the striping is there, but it's weathered just a little bit.
yes.
You can see there's some miles under the in the engine, but yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, no, they did a fantastic job with it. Super expensive. I wouldn't have gotten it other than to get it for a Christmas present. So, I would not have paid what Emily paid for it. Don't tell her I said that, but that was the only way I was going to get it was to get it as a Christmas gift. That being said, I'm glad I have it in my collection. It is a fantastic piece. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite ships from Star Wars, right up there with like the V-wing, which I've lost pieces to on mine. So, hello, Cito, the smallest burrito. Hi, hi.
Which dog?
Found
I
it.
didn't see. Ah,
Here it is.
oh, nice.
This thing. It's a Buzz Lightyear ship. What is it called? I don't think it has a name. But it's got that Transformer Cyclonus vibe to it.
I've
Yeah,
seen
it does.
I've
Yeah,
seen
it does.
somebody paint one in Cyclonus colors.
And the other thing, did you guys ever watch Defenders of the Earth? It was an old cartoon
I
with
don't.
I
like
don't. And maybe I don't. It doesn't. The name doesn't ring a bell.
it had heroes from like the 50s or 40s, and one of the ships was Flash Gordon's ship, and it looked just
Ah,
like this, except it
I
was red.
definitely never watched it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's got that that front, that front wing, like leaning forward wing.
Forward
Um,
swept.
yeah. Like I do love the design on that. So yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
This is one of those.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of people repaint them and they've come out really nice. And
Yes, absolutely.
I've seen some people use the I think it's the main villain and repaint him as mandroids
Oh,
for
cool.
yeah, from
Very
Marvel
cool.
Universe. So they paint him in like just bright yellow and they look exactly like
That
android.
man, that's a great idea. Actually, I need to
Yeah.
steal that.
Yeah, I almost got one
Yeah,
just to
steal
do
that.
that myself, but never did.
Right,
But yeah,
right.
no, those Buzz Lightyear ships, I've seen a lot of cool customs, and it's funny you should say that because I think I have seen somebody repaint that particular one as Cyclonus.
Somebody got like the Zerg figure, the big bad guy robot. And I saw on eBay like a X-Men Sentinel head sculpt, and they replaced
Oh,
that, and it looks really nice, like
nice.
really, really nice. It's just the Sentinel, and it's like, oh wow, it scales well with Marvel Universe, and no, it's a pretty figure.
Nice. And JD was going to unbox something as well. I
Yeah,
think
I finally got a Megatron his tank.
Oh yeah,
Um, 2 years too late, but I just I never wanted to pay the original price for it, and then it just fell through the cracks, and I forgot about it for forever. And then it went on deep discount on Big Bad, so I'm like, you know what? That's it. I need it now. It'll be the only his tank. I mean, I had to have it, his tank, but
right.
it just I
And
didn't expect the price to go as low as it did. But
yeah,
yeah,
when I texted you when I saw it went down.
yeah, and I turned around and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy it now just in case it sells out and it's never available again.
man. Do you have any idea how many years I've waited for them to make GI Joe Transformer crossovers? Like years, man,
Yeah.
years. Like, and now that they're doing them, I'm buying every single one of them.
Yep. Because they did do a few crossover sets, but they didn't
They didn't
transform.
transform. The San Diego Comic Con
Yeah.
stuff.
The San
It,
Diego
it,
Comic
it
Con
was what? What was it? There was a Baroness with a what was it?
Ravage.
It was a Ravage Baroness, and also it had what was the vehicle that came with that?
I
I
think
think
she
it was
came.
like
Did she come in the? Was that the Vamp set?
it was the Vamp set. I believe it was the Vamp set that came with that. That was the first one, I believe.
No, that was the third one. The
The
first
third
one
third
was
one,
the Starscream
the Starscream Sky Striker.
Sky Striker. The
Oh,
second
that was a
one was
gorgeous
the
one.
Soundwave Hiss Tank,
Soundwave His Tank.
and
Then
then the Vamp, and then
the
the
power. There was a Power
Power.
Glide,
That was the fourth.
a Rattler.
Yep,
Uh,
those
then
were
there
the.
was a Shockwave
Oh,
Hiss, I
yeah,
believe.
Shockwave Hiss.
There was a Shockwave Hiss.
Yep.
Oh
There
yeah,
was a Soundwave Hiss tank as well.
The Shockwave Hiss Tank came with the Vamp.
Oh, okay. Was that the one that had like the bats that were like in Constructicon colors, like the
yes.
Constructicon deco
No,
with the Energon cubes?
those came with the Soundwave,
That came with a Soundwave. Okay.
the Soundwave Hiss Tank, because it came
Oh,
with the Destro too. That was
those were great. Oh man, those were great. They were great. They were great sets. They just didn't transform.
yeah.
And now that they're making transforming ones,
I
I'm
have
happy.
all of the sets actually.
I'm only lacking the triple T, I believe. That one's coming in the mail. I got it on Big Back Toy Store actually. It's coming.
It's
But
nice.
yeah, it's a great set. I can't wait. The cup
Yes,
triple T. Yeah.
I thought it was. I thought the characterization was pretty cool that they used
Oh
cup.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
something,
it's spot on. Spot
yeah,
on.
something, kind of a battered old warrior, and not first generation, which was kind of cool. So it's nice to see him kind of branching out too.
Absolutely. And it comes with the leather neck, doesn't it? Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Leatherneck and
That's
Sergeant Slaughter.
yes, leather neck slaughter.
All right.
I wish they would make them for modern. Well, I mean, they don't have a modern era anymore. Everything is 6 inch now. But it would be nice if it wasn't like just O-ring.
And then JD, I've got you set up here to do.
Yeah. So figure out how
Turn
was
your
this
volume,
thing?
turn your volume down on your phone.
Oh, great. How am I? Oh,
Did you guys get the Bumblebee?
I
The
yeah, I
Bumblebee's,
got it last year.
yeah, Ostriker.
Yep,
Um,
I absolutely love that. That is a fun piece to play with.
Nice,
It transforms so well.
nice. Oh, that's so cool.
look
And
at that.
JD had to get it because it came with Stalker.
Yes, absolutely.
That's nice.
That is cool, man. That is so cool.
Um,
How does it scale with a modern era figure, if I might inquire?
I don't know. Hang on. Where
Yeah,
is
either I'll have to. If JD doesn't have one, I'll go grab mine.
I mean, I can probably open this one up too. Comes with a Baroness. That's pretty cool.
Nipple bands?
They did a good job with this.
Yeah, I really liked it.
It's so cool. From what I understand, there is plans to make bigger ones even.
I'd heard rumors that they were going to do the APC as Optimus Prime, but I haven't seen anything about that.
Okay. I think they should probably do a Rolling Thunder Prime.
Oh, that would be amazing.
There's an artist, a well-known comic book artist. I forget his name. He designed one.
I've seen that artwork.
Yeah, the artwork was a Rolling Thunder Prime and a Destro's Demon, I believe. Was it? Was it a
That
Destro's
I don't remember.
for Megatron?
Okay.
I think so.
This Megatron face is excellent.
It is great.
Yeah,
What a
no, it's
great insult.
fantastic. They did a good job on that.
Yeah, they did really good on that. How does it feel, articulation wise?
Feels okay to me. Feels like he can move just about any way you need him to.
Are the joints ratcheted? They look like they're ratchets.
They are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Uh,
is neat, man.
I think a lot of people complain because it's the softer plastic, so it doesn't feel. It has kind of that cheaper feel to it, but I got to
Okay.
tell you, it's not gonna break in 30 years. So
No, 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 no,
I
no.
I actually I actually like the softer plastic for these things because they're gonna last.
No, this is good.
Yeah, G2 Megatron is
G2
my favorite
Megatron.
Megatron, but
That's the redeco for the leader class Megatron, right?
yeah.
The leader class tank one.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna sit here and transform it right now. That's ridiculous. But
It's cool.
Yeah, I had to watch a video on to be
oh, and
able.
I fully expect I'll have to watch one too. But detailing on this is nice. Um,
I'm assuming he has a backpack for the cannons
Yes.
and
yeah,
the cockpit of the
yeah,
his tank, right? Okay. It's a bit of
yeah.
a shell then. Okay. That's cool though.
So got the classic his tank glass canopy. Um, I know Megatron's arm cannon can attach into the port. Let's see. Oh, shit.
That is neat, man. I'm just happy that they're making these.
Yeah.
And as long as they keep on making them, I'll keep buying them.
Yeah, that's my only hope is that they keep making the keep making these sets.
Look at that.
All right, so
As near as I can tell, they're selling pretty well. I mean, this his tank went on deep discount, but the other ones have not. I've not seen the other ones on any sort of discount.
Yeah, I think so too. The Striker, I mean, everybody's loved it so far. And the Thunder Machine, I mean, everybody loves the Thunder Machine, you know?
The Thunder Machine, I've not seen. I've seen it not go down. I've seen it go up in price.
Yeah, me too.
the Baroness face, like they painted inside the glasses, that is a really weird choice.
That's a new sculpt, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's, yeah.
But that's okay because To replace the head on it, I've got a Baroness from Lady J Toys that I got because I like the red
Oh,
lenses. So I'm gonna do a head swap. Um,
What is that? Valor versus Venom?
no,
Oh,
it's a production custom from Lady J Toys.
oh,
So
nice.
it's a vintage Baroness, but in the Python Patrol colors.
Oh, it's pretty.
I've seen their stuff recently. I haven't bought anything from them yet, but I've seen their
Oh,
stuff.
This is the first one I bought, but it's really well put together.
I like it.
But yeah, I bought it in anticipation of getting this hiss because yeah, I'm gonna do the head swap and then I think it'll look great.
Nice.
But
Very
Yeah, I
cool.
might
I'm
have
gonna
to get that Baroness to go with my Python Patrol blood.
So, guys, I've got a question because the last episode I saw from you guys was the Robo Skull. Are
Yes.
you guys gonna customize any of them?
I am not going to customize mine.
I'm not gonna customize mine, no way.
I
Um,
see.
If I had just unlimited funds, I probably would get so I got the special edition. I would get
Okay.
one of the regular ones. Um, so I would have one each. And then
Right.
like it said, if I had unlimited funds, then I would get a third one to customize.
I see.
And I would probably paint it like all black for like a stealth.
Oh man, that's a good idea. That
yeah,
is,
this is absolutely, without a doubt, a completely different Baroness sculpt.
yeah,
But
does look like it.
the detailing's okay um, on the buckles.
Yeah, I thought they did a good job on the figure. I mean, it's
Yeah,
completely new mold, so
no, that's neat. I'm glad they're doing that actually. I think the Slaughter is a brand new mold as well, right?
all brand new molds.
All of them are.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so red lens Baroness looks good in the back of it.
Very cool. Yeah,
So,
very suitable for that. That's neat.
um, all right, so I will transform it later. I'm not about to mess with it now. I don't know why, but I didn't realize that it was going to be as substantial as it is. Of course,
Mhm.
for scaling, and it's a his tank, Megatron should be big. For some reason, I was thinking that it would be more along the lines of the size of Bumblebee, and
Uh,
so this is impressive. I like what they did here.
yeah.
Very nice.
It's I've got all of them standing next to each other, and yeah, the Megatron I think is just slightly smaller than the Soundwave, but it's a lot bigger than Bumblebee.
That's cool. And so, which of those sets is your favorite so far, Brian?
Woof. Boy, that is a tough one to answer. Um,
Yeah, we do like the hard hitting questions here.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Asking a collector what their favorite is, man, like
Yeah, I
Oh
like
don't.
yeah,
asking
wait till we do
what's
the
your favorite
questionnaire.
child,
There's
dude,
a couple of those questions. It's fun.
right?
For concept, I'm gonna say the Megatron Hiss Tank. For playability, I'm gonna say the Ostriker Bumblebee. For characterization, I'm gonna say Cup Triple T. Because I think the Megatron Hiss is pretty good. The Bumblebee doesn't really work as an Ostriker to me. I think they should have gone with another character for that.
Beachcomber. They should have done a beachcomber.
Beachcomber was a pacifist.
Yeah, he's a
He
pacifist. It
was,
doesn't
but
work.
he transformed into that exact same vehicle.
I know.
Yeah, but not with the cannon on top
No,
of
I
it. No
can't.
That's
way.
I
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
No way. I can't see it. There
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
there may have been later characters that they could have used.
Yeah.
Um, but since they wanted to go with G1 characters, honestly, we've seen Bumblebee in wartime situations. He's like that in the Bayformers movies. So I get where they were coming from.
Yeah.
B is
I think
popular.
Beachcomber would have been entirely the wrong choice.
Yeah.
B and Optimus will get the lion's share of figures because they're so popular. They will sell the heck out of both of those. So yeah, it was an obvious choice to do
And
Bumble.
then Soundwave Awe Striker or Soundwave
Thunder
Thunder,
Machine.
just really weird choice for me.
That one was a little
They
odd.
could have gone with for the robot, but I mean, I like it, don't get me wrong, but I think it's just a really weird characterization. I don't
Yeah,
know who I would
there's
have
a
gone.
number of Decepticons that would fit better with the Dreadnoks than Soundwave would.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so I think Cup is like the quintessential characterization. Uh
That one's spot on. I think
yeah,
that one's so
100%.
spot on. Triple T. Yeah,
But for playability, I really like the Bumblebee Striker. It transforms so easily. It's fun. I must have played with that thing for hours. It's a good time.
that is
And
awesome.
then concept, I like the Hiss tank Megatron. So I won't pick just one.
In the comic books, the one that were the first crossover that they had back in the late 90s, a lot of them were his tanks.
Yeah.
There was, I forget who was a his tank, but several of them were his tanks. So you could,
Optimus Prime was a his tank.
Optimus
You mean
Prime was a his tank in that one. Yeah, you're right.
in the Image comic series? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
It doesn't even have a title, right? It's just
no,
Transformer,
yeah, it's just
G.I.
Joe
Joe.
versus the Transformers.
It's just the title is just a symbol. It's that iconic symbol that has the Cobra symbol and then the
Oh yeah,
Decepticon
with
symbol
the
overlaid on
Decepticon
top of it.
logo and the yeah.
Yeah, it didn't really have a name to it.
Gotcha.
Um, but yeah, Optimus Prime was a his tank in that one.
Huh. I haven't read that one actually.
Oh man, it's nostalgic for me. Man, they did a good job with it because it was 4 issues long, and it was so quick. Like the first panel showed Cobra Commander opening like the Autobot arc, and they get in through, and then they find all these Autobots in there, and then they're like, okay, let's use these as weapons, right? Let's just grab whatever cadavers these are, and let's just make them into weapons, and then they just go from there. And it's just such a crazy story. It's great. It's very 90s. It's very late 90s.
Gotcha. All right. JD, you want to start the questionnaire then?
Um, well, I think we should point out one thing that we forgot to mention or that we should have mentioned last episode. We need to acknowledge the passing of Morgan Lofting, the
Ah,
voice of the Baroness from the Sunbow cartoon.
Oh man.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, we didn't mention that, did we?
that one hit me hard when I read it. It hit me hard because anytime you see an image of the Baroness, I don't care if it's a comic book image, I don't care if it's just fan art or if it's from the cartoon, that same voice comes out of that face. Like even when I'm reading the vintage Marvel comics, or even like the modern Joe comics,
Yeah.
I cannot see the Baroness and not hear Morgan Lofting's voice with that accent.
With the accent.
And
Yeah.
I just, as we get older, you know, we've all experienced the death of some of these people that we grew up watching on television or hearing on television, but
Yeah.
every once in a while there's one that just hits a little harder. And for me, it was just Morgan Lofting not playing because even in interviews that she's done with the fan community over the last 10, 12, 15 years, she can never resist doing the voice. And it's just weird that that voice is now just energy or whatever.
One with
So
the horse.
yeah, yeah, and so I gotta say, rest in peace, Morgan Lofting. You are missed, but will be celebrated until the end of time.
You
Absolutely.
know, I remember seeing her in one of the panels at one of the Joe cons. I forget what Joe con it is, but she was there with the Flint voice actor and the Lady J voice actor, and they did a little bit where they
Bill
were acting
Ratner and Mary McDonald
yes,
Lewis.
and they were doing this little bit where they were acting a scene. I guess it was a scene from a cartoon or
Nice.
something, and it was just so iconic, man. Like I flashed back to being 4 or 5 years old, right? Just
Yeah.
Yeah,
seeing
I've never met any of them, but I've heard interviews with all of them, and those interviews all made me want to meet these people in person.
dude,
Um,
Michael Bell is cool. Duke, He's cool, man. Uh, not only, well, he's not important only because of the role as Duke. He also did the voice of Raziel in Soul Reaver. I don't know
Ah,
if you played any video games,
uh-uh.
but that voice, man, it's just iconic to me. Yeah, all these people, man, like they kind of shape our childhoods. And I kind of told that to Michael Bell one time, one of the cons that I saw him, and his response was, "Well, we were kids too when we were doing these voices, so you guys were a part of our childhoods too."
Nice.
Like, ah,
Oh, I like that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I met
interesting.
Brian Cummings, who played Dr. Mindbender a couple of times, and he's just super cool to talk to. He said he'd be on the show, but I've just never like had the guts to reach out and
Ah,
invite him.
you should, man. You know what's cool too? The voice of Zartan. I met him at a
Zach
con.
Hoffman. I met him at the 2009 Canadian Joe Con,
Yeah,
because I I had to, like, because he was, he voiced my favorite bad guy ever.
yeah.
Um and I told him that, and he did the voice as part of the panel, and I'm just like, these
He,
people,
Yeah,
these actors have all gotten older, so their characters, when they do the voices, they're a little bit different, but not much. They
I'm
can
all
still capture it perfectly,
well,
and
that
it's
actor,
beautiful.
I bumped into him in, was it Chattanooga? I believe it was the Chattanooga convention in the elevator, and he was more than happy to do the voice just for me in the elevator, man.
That's awesome.
It was great. It was just really cool, for free. It was just
right.
like, hey, you're the Zartan actor, like I love the show, and he's like started doing the voice and quoting lines, and I'm like, oh, that's great. That's just cool.
Yeah, and I love meeting the people like that when they're like that because they know they're only where they're at because of the fans.
Slaughter, man. Slaughter is awesome too. If you ever met him,
No, I haven't.
this was at
I
my
met
only
him at the
experience with him was
2006
at Joe
convention
Fest.
in New Orleans. I met him just
You met him?
briefly, but just talking to him just for a few minutes, and I'm just like, it brought me right back to why at 6 years old I became a Slaughter fan, because of the GI Joe cartoon, and the dude is really nice to talk to.
Dude, my favorite Slaughter story was this. I was at Joe Fest, and I was there with Damon Whitfield, the customizer. You guys should have him on if you ever, talk
He
to him.
was on the audio version of this show years ago,
Yeah,
so
have Damon on. And I was there with Kalen McKean, the sculptor
Yeah.
for Dime Novel Legends. He was
Gigabread.
Gigabread, yeah. We
Yeah,
were we were we were all there, and we're taking the elevator to the lobby of the hotel where the convention was. And Sergeant Slaughter walks into the elevator, and he asks, what's the floor for the convention? And we're like, it's the lobby. But Damon happens to be a huge Sergeant Slaughter fan, and he gets starstruck, and he presses the wrong button. Wrong
oh,
button. So we're going up the elevator, and he's so embarrassed, right? Like, I am so sorry. Da 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 da. Let me correct this. And he keeps on pressing the wrong button. So it's floor number 4, floor number 7, floor number 3. And we're going up and down in this elevator with Sergeant Slaughter, and he's looking at us, and we're all laughing at David, right? Like, man, stop being so starstruck, like it's just Sergeant Slaughter. He's quiet this whole time. Finally, we make it down to the lobby. The door opens, and Sergeant Slaughter says, "Move, maggots!" And we all walk out, and we're laughing, and it was just a great time with them. It was just
that's amazing.
those, great memories with Sergeant Slaughter.
yeah. No, I really want to meet him. I'm hoping that he'll come to a convention that I can go to at some point in time. But yeah,
Yeah, as they're getting older, you just kind of want to see them as soon as you can.
yeah, exactly. I really do. I really should reach out to Brian Cummings and get him on the show.
You should,
Yes,
man.
please, because I can schedule a lot of guests for this show, but I don't have his contact, so that's up to you.
Yeah,
Um,
I gotta dig it out. I gotta hear some more.
um, yeah, because I would like to talk to Doctor Mindbender, um, and have me and I would like him to insult me in that voice with that accent. So
Well, my favorite episode from the cartoon involves Dr. Mindbender. It was the dream one where Lowlight fights all the nightmares.
Oh yeah, that's an amazing episode.
That is my favorite, hands down, one of my favorite episodes. Probably my favorite one.
Mine too. Yeah.
I forget what it's called though.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I forget what it's called, but
you know what? As I get older, I'm getting worse with like episode titles for shows that I watch.
No, I'm surprised, man. You know all the file cards,
right?
And yet some of that stuff sticks in my brain, but then I lose track of episode titles. So,
yeah, the esoteric knowledge JD has on GI Joe file cards is
it's unparalleled. Let's put it that way.
There's some I can't remember, but
I'm very impressed. Like what? Like the obscure ones? Like
no, I know some of those too. But I can tell you that the driver cold front of the Avalanche, his last name is Smithers, but I can't remember what his first name is. I cannot remember what Admiral Keelhaul's name is to save my life. But I have no problem remembering that Skidmark's file name is Cyril Columbani. And I have no problem remembering that Armadillo is Philo Makepeace, who was born at Fort Huachuca, Arizona.
I should get you in touch with J.E. Russell, the guy who does Dime Novel Legends.
Yeah, I know.
He has a lot of knowledge of file cards as well. You guys should compare notes.
Yeah,
I was down in Houston the first time.
These are things that, like, I used to sit down when I was a kid and I used to just read the file cards religiously. And anytime in the comic book, like, do you remember the G.I. Joe series, The Order of Battle?
Yes.
Where there were 4 issues. There were 2 issues for the Joes, an issue for Cobra, and then an issue for the vehicles. And a lot of times, like, they were just character bios with art of the characters, but a lot of times it was the file card text republished because, you know, Larry Hama wrote both.
Right.
But sometimes in the Order of Battle, sometimes it would have added file card information or added text that might mention a specific storyline from the comics. And so I used to read that stuff constantly. And so, you know, and then a few years ago, when I got diagnosed as being on the autism spectrum, I'm like, some of this makes sense now.
Yeah.
So, but I don't remember what Payload's code and file name is, but I have no problem remembering that Hardtop's name is, what is it? Nick Claus, because it's a joke, and I'm like, that doesn't even make any sense, but sure. So yeah, but then episode titles, yeah, they slip my mind. I guess eventually the brain has to make room for something.
Some of the ones that I do remember, because I grew up in South America, I remember some of the Commandos ones.
Okay.
Because I was in Bolivia at the time, and we didn't get G.I. Joe per se. We got Commandos.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And some of the characters in the cards, I remember Cobra Commander. His name was Coraza. It was Coraza, and you know, then you had Cobra de Aso. You know
with the snake guy's head on.
I remember some of the file cards for those characters actually. You know, a little different.
You know, because I like reading those because sometimes, like, Yo Joe has a translation for the file card. Sometimes they don't, but I'm always fascinated to look and see how G.I. Joe was represented in the rest of the world.
Yeah,
and I love that the South American release Joes all reuse parts from the American toy line, but none of them are the same characters, and I love that.
Yeah, no, it was an interesting, you know, some of those characters were really interesting because they did, you know, deviate from the American counterpart. One of them was like the Mamba. The Mamba has a different, like, it has a different story to it and everything. The vehicle.
Yeah.
I forget what it was called even, but I remember reading the box for the Mamba in English and the box for the Mamba in Portuguese, which I speak Spanish. I don't speak Portuguese per se, but it's very similar. And I was reading some of that stuff, and it's like, oh, this is totally different. Like
Huh.
so. Yeah, they took a lot of liberties with that, and it's just cool. It's cool to see
Yeah.
the differences.
Absolutely.
I like that different regions of the world got the toy line and they got to experience it differently than everybody else. It's not like Hasbro sent these molds to overseas countries and said, I want you, you have to reproduce what we've already done. They just gave them free range. They're like, just have at it.
And I don't think they imagined that the fandom would persist until today.
No, nobody could have.
I
Like
don't think they
nobody
could
could have
predict that.
anticipated that.
Yeah.
Because they'll, you know, whenever there's interviews with the people who did the voices or wrote the scripts for the GI Joe cartoon, people are like, "Did you ever suspect that this would have a long life behind it?" And most of them are like, "No, they
Oh.
were voice acting jobs. We
Yeah.
Mhm.
did voice acting jobs all the time for different companies for different durations of time, and there'd be cartoons where you did two voices for 3 episodes, and then voices where you did all 46 episodes in the season, but." They're like it was just they were just jobs for us, but the shows that we voice that have active fan bases, those are the ones people keep going back to. And they said a lot of them are like, we're amazed that the fan base is still as active as it is, but they're like completely honored that
Very
we're that
true.
people are like lots of voice acting roles, but some of that stuff is forgotten because it
Yeah.
doesn't have the longevity.
I mean, if you think about it, Frank Welker and Chris Latta did so many voices.
Yeah.
Latta did like Inhumanoids and Starscream and Cobra Commander and all these other like cool
He
voices.
did Chris Latta, yeah, he voiced Gung Ho. He
Gung
voiced,
Ho,
I think,
yeah.
Ripper. Um he and then he did live action stuff too. He's in an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation as a Klingon.
Nice.
Oh,
Um and you wouldn't know it to hear his voice because you think, well, maybe he's exaggerating the voice for like Cobra Commander and Starscream. No, there was nothing remotely
That was
genuine
his
in that
voice.
voice. He was simply doing. And when I found out who it was playing the Klingon, and I remember just listening carefully, and I'm like, okay, I can vaguely hear gung ho in his Klingon delivery, but not even that much. So
Nice.
I think it, one of the voice actors that has just blown me away over the years because I didn't know it was him for the longest time that did voice acting is Mark Hamill.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, because he's in so many things that you wouldn't even think of.
Yeah, he's done so many things, and it's like that was Mark Hamill. Oh yeah, he's and
Yeah.
I. It's kind of funny because we watched the Muppet Show the other night with Mark Hamill on it from the '70s. It came out
Oh,
just
Star
after
Wars.
Empire came out.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
is that
So
the one? Oh, he's wearing the Bespin Luke
yeah,
fatigues,
And
right? Yeah.
he's like the cousin of Luke or something like that. He doesn't play Luke Skywalker for a bit, right? He plays like somebody's
no,
cousin.
he does Luke
He
Skywalker.
does Luke.
Yeah, it's Luke Skywalker and C-3PO and R2-D2, and Peter Mayhew is there as Chewbacca for
I see.
so
Does he yell like for the rebellion or for Alderaan or something like
yeah,
that?
remember
Okay.
Alderaan.
For
Yeah.
Alderaan. Yeah, yeah, okay.
But
Yeah,
he
that's
does a
cool.
little bit of voice acting in it too, and I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, now I see, even back then he was because he did like a couple of impressions really quickly. And it's like, oh yeah, he was
He's my
even
favorite Joker for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Hands down.
yeah.
I
What
I
were you
was
gonna
watching, I think, Jimmy Fallon one day, and they had Harrison Ford on as the guest, and Jimmy Fallon asked him, "Have you heard Mark Hamill's impersonation of you as Han Solo?" And so they play a video clip of him doing Harrison Ford's voice and Solo's voice, and they cut back to Harrison Ford, and they're like, you know what, he can have the job in the future. Um,
Yeah, he imitates him really well. There was an interview when apparently Harrison Ford did not know the plot twist of Empire,
Yes,
right? And I think
Yeah,
the
the only people that
premiere,
knew were Mark Hamill and James Earl Jones. So
yeah, and Hamill's sitting next to him, and Hamill's telling the story, and he's impersonating the voice, right? And he's like, "Why didn't you fucking tell me, kid?" It's just, it's just, he sounds just like him too. It's funny.
Yeah, it's super impressive. All right, JD, should we just
yeah.
keep doing it the way
Um
we're doing it, or did you want to switch off?
um
Because I'm gonna say that the way we've been doing it's working pretty good, and I don't think
that's
everybody.
fine. If you want to just come up with another number.
I want to do the
Um
same number, just see if anybody watches the episode to get it.
wow. All right, yeah, we'll do we'll do the old setup.
All right.
Um
I'm ready.
all right.
All right. So for those of you that have been watching and those of you that haven't been watching, JD and I came up with what we call the General Geekery questionnaire, and it is based off the Colbert questionnaire that he came up with to ask people on his show when during the COVID pandemic when he couldn't actually have them on his show. So we've kept some of the questions from the Colbert questionnaire and we've added some of our own. And
Um
the
I'm
reception
nervous.
this
has been phenomenal. Everybody that has taken the questionnaire has had a blast doing it, and everybody that's watched it say that's like one of their favorite parts of the show.
so Panama, are you ready to be known?
Nervous as hell, but I will go for it. Let's do it.
There's absolutely nothing to be nervous about, except some of these questions are scary. I get that.
There you go.
What is the best sandwich?
The best sandwich. Um, I would say the Cubano. Have you ever had a Cubano?
Yes.
I have not.
Okay, if you're ever in Florida and you go to a Cuban place, a Cuban restaurant, ask for a Cubano with fried tostones, which is fried bananas, basically. They smash the bananas and they fried those. But the sandwich itself, it's basically a ham sandwich, but they toast it with mayonnaise on it.
Yeah.
And they toast it in a way where, I don't know, man, like it just has a flavor to it.
Magical.
They also put like pork in it, like they have some sort of pork meat on it.
Ooh,
And dude, like they will toast it and put like the mayonnaise on it, and it's like a toasted mayonnaise on the bun, serve it to you. There's a movie, man. I think the movie's called Chef or Chef or something like that. It's got the Marvel guy. What's his name? One of the Marvel producers that acted.
oh, John
Uh,
Favreau. Yeah,
yeah,
I've never
he's
seen
in
the
it.
movie, but I am
He's
aware
in the
of it.
movie. He's a chef. The whole movie is him becoming famous because he does the Cubano. Like, dude, the Cubano.
Okay, that's
Try
cool.
it. If you ever have a chance to try it, try it with the fried bananas, tostones, man. Like that. That's just amazing stuff.
I'm intrigued by the toasted with the mayonnaise in the bread. I'm like,
It's
oh
really
man,
Brian,
that
back me
must
up
be
on this
great.
one.
yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
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 I do like I've had a Cubano before and I do like it. And I think I had it based off of your recommendation because I think you and I were talking about him one time.
Probably, man. Yeah, no, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. I'm getting hungry now.
Right. All right. What is one thing that you own that you really should throw out?
Jesus, man, I'm a collector, man. There's a lot of things I
Listen,
need to throw
we asked
out.
the tough questions here.
Uh, I would say, last in, first out, probably, like the oldest stuff. If I'm not displaying it, if I'm not enjoying it, that probably should go. That encompasses a lot of things. I would say probably like the O-Ring collection. I have a nostalgic appreciation for it, but I'm not displaying it. I think the O-Ring stuff, not the vehicles, but the O-Ring figures should probably find a happy home. This is what I would say. Not the Transformers. The Transformers stay forever until I die. I want a mausoleum, and that's where they're going. But the O-Ring GI Joes, I think it's time.
Do you want to be buried with any of the Transformers in particular?
Prime probably.
There we go.
Yeah, the
Take
original
Prime into
Prime.
the afterlife
Yeah,
with
those
you.
Yeah,
are the ones,
Prime Jetfire.
those
Yeah.
are the ones I've been collecting recently. I've been going back and getting a bunch of the O-ring stuff recently.
Are you completing? See, that's the thing. Like I feel like I will never be able to complete that.
Yeah.
And the collector in me wants to keep on trying, but at the same time, it's like it probably is time to just, let somebody else enjoy that.
Yeah, I can understand that. All right, JD.
Um, what is the scariest animal?
Scariest animal. Giraffes, hands down. Uh,
Okay.
there's a story behind that
There's
one.
one we haven't heard yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was 7 years old, and I was in Chile, of all places, the country. And in Santiago, the capital of Chile, there was this massive, uh, massive zoo. It was internationally known, right? And I'm walking there with my mom, and I have this bag of popcorn. And I go to the display where the giraffes are, and I kind of climb up the display, and I'm kind of there. And I wanted to share with the giraffe, so I pull a little bit of my popcorn and I offer it to the giraffe, but the damn thing pulls over like a dinosaur and just grabs the entire bag from my hand and lifts me. I thought he was gonna like eat the whole hand off. And as I'm doing this, I fall backwards on my ass. And there were these tourists, I think they were American, and they were filming the whole thing. And then they laughed their asses off at the kid falling off from the. So yeah, giraffes. Yeah, don't trust them. They're awful. They're awful
Yeah,
creatures.
you know what? Yeah, I think you make a good case for it. I mean, and they are gawky looking to
Oh my
watch.
god,
Like,
man. No, I'm terrified of giraffes from that day forward. So giraffes.
Yeah, I can see that.
all right, yeah, fair enough.
Coffee. How do you take it?
I am very sensitive to coffee. It is my nuclear button. If I need to stay awake, I will drink Red Bull. That's how I get my caffeine. I don't drink coffee.
Gotcha.
If I were to drink coffee right now, I will stay awake until 4 a.m. and not sleep.
So you're saying you don't want to do that then?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, only if necessary. Now, if I would have to, it would be like the iced coffee from Starbucks. Their Frappuccino. And it's not a common occurrence really. It's every now and again.
All right.
Have you ever asked somebody for their autograph? I have a feeling the answer is yes.
Yes, I have actually. A few people. I got Slaughters.
Nice.
A couple soccer players. Um, let's see.
Name names just in case. I don't know. Maybe I'll recognize one. Probably not, but
Just
maybe.
South American ones, man. Back from the 90s.
Yeah, I won't recognize
You would
those. But
probably
then,
wouldn't recognize. Uh, let's see. There was. Let's see. Who did I get an autograph from that was recent? Man, I forget, dude. Probably like Slaughter. Slaughter was the most recent one that I got. This is like 4 years ago.
All right. Let's see here. What do you think happens when we die?
Oh man, you're getting metaphysical here.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
love this question.
okay. I was raised in a very conservative Christian family. So 10-year-old me would tell you that when you die, eventually you will go to heaven, right? Now at 43 years old, I'm not sure if I know the answer to that. Do you go back to a source? Are you part of the universe trying to experience itself?
You are in the same boat I am. I was raised in the same
You
type
know,
of household, and I don't know what
I
happens after we die. All I can say is I kind of hope they're wrong because it doesn't sound like there's a whole heck of a lot of variety.
well, I still have to go home and get along with my parents, right? And I love my parents. So I will not question anything when I'm home,
Oh,
right?
I don't talk
You
to my dad about these things because
know,
there's things that will cause arguments, which are okay. And then
yeah,
there's things that you're like, you know what? Not only will it
not
cause
not
an
not not
argument,
worth it.
but I don't even want to have that conversation.
Well,
So,
my dad is almost 80. He's not going to change the way he thinks.
Right.
He'll ask me to go to church with him, and I will gladly go with him.
oh,
I will
absolutely. Yeah.
oblige. I will go. I don't necessarily believe the same thing.
No, but
You
in
know,
that case, you're not going for you, you're going for them.
yeah,
And you just feel what you feel.
yeah.
Um,
But it's interesting because we're kind of a rarity in the cosmos, as far as we know. Uh, is the universe trying to, know itself through us? I don't know. It would
That
be
is an
very
interesting
depressing if
question.
nothing else happened, right? Like I would like to think there's some sort of a sandbox to the video game where you can do whatever you want afterwards. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, I don't know what happens, but I know I don't like the idea that there's just nothing.
No, there's
That
not
just,
nothing. Yeah, it's
I
kind of
just, I don't, that puts me off for reasons I can't explain, but just the idea that we go through everything we go through, we experience everything we experience just to die and absolutely nothing after that. That just seems,
finite, right? It seems finite.
yes, and
No, it's a purpose to
anticlimactic.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and at the same time, it makes you value that thought makes you value the
Exactly.
time that you
And then if
have
there is nothing
now.
else, well,
Might as well,
hopefully I feel
you
okay
know,
about it.
might as well,
You know,
drink that Negroni, order that piece of steak that was expensive, go on that trip that you wanted to do,
Yep.
go up and talk to that girl that you had a crush on. It just makes you want to do the stuff that you normally wouldn't, because what if this is it, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah, no, I think that's a valid point.
that is food for thought.
mm,
You know, I'll be okay if that just eats at me for a while. Yeah, that's
yeah, that is the question, right?
Yeah.
That's a good question, man. Do people answer that? Really? Do people go
yeah,
do
everybody has
people avoid
answered
that
it.
one?
Yeah.
Or
Uh-uh.
I don't know. I haven't seen enough of this to know.
Um, we've gotten answers from all kinds of different, there's people that are like, you know what, I don't know. And I really I'll just find out when I get there. And then yeah, I think we've had just about everybody answer it. And a lot of times it's very different answers. So
Got the full spectrum on that for sure.
That's an interesting one.
that's one of those questions that is my favorite on the show, just because the sheer variety of answers that we get back. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I love how everybody has their own little thoughts and feelings on it, and you can tell it's very personal to them to
Yeah.
answer it. And I think it's one of my favorites.
That's a
Yeah,
cool one.
nobody's avoided.
Hey, yeah, you got me on that one. I was not prepared for that one.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, we haven't had anybody that are like, I don't know. Nope, everybody is happy to discuss it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Um, your favorite action movie?
Oh my goodness. Okay. To be pragmatic, have you seen The Raid?
No.
No, but I am aware of it.
The Raid. Okay. You know, it's a not very well known movie, right? And I'm an 80s guy, and I could tell you Stallone, Schwarzenegger, right? Like
Sure.
Bruce Willis. And yes, all of those are, great. RoboCop, like all of those. But something about The Raid as a pure action movie, it
I
doesn't
need
have
to
much
watch it. I
dialogue.
have heard of it, but I've never seen it, and I feel like this could be one of those times where I realize, oh shit, it's time. I need to watch it.
JD, this movie will change you. The Raid starts with a police officer waking up in the morning, doing his sit-ups. It's early in the morning, it's dark, then he goes to a punching bag, punches it. You can tell he's a martial artist and not an actor, right? And it's an international movie. It's from, I don't even know where. It's an Asian country. I forget where it's from, but I think it's from Sri Lanka or something like that. And he's from a SWAT team, and they're going to do this sting operation where they're going to go into this building and arrest the drug lord that lives in the top floor of the building.
But
Okay.
where else would he live? Of
But
course.
the thing is, he owns everybody in the building. So as soon as he finds out that they're out to get him, he puts out a bounty on every SWAT member that's on the team raiding the thing. And it just goes nuts after that. It's just full action the whole movie. It's the purest action movie I
that
have ever
sounds
seen.
awesome.
It's just action from start to finish. It's probably my favorite action movie.
All right. Yeah.
Raid. Just yeah.
What is your favorite smell?
Oh man. Okay. All right. Uh, my mom loves to cook, right? And her secret, which I kind of discovered, was garlic, onion, cilantro. You cut that up, you put a little bit of oil to that, and the minute you hit that on the frying pan or any pan, the smell that comes from that, can't beat it.
Yeah,
Can't
I
beat it.
see that. I like those smells
Yeah,
in and
can't
of
beat it.
itself. Huh. I like it.
On the other side of the coin, what's your least favorite smell?
Oh, damn. Okay, blame my mother on that one too. Uh, Latin American mom. Vicks, dude. Vicks. I
Yeah.
freaking
Oh, the
hate that
vapor
thing.
rub.
Yeah.
Oh, Vicks Vapor Rub. They will, Latin American moms will use that to cure. It's their cure all for everything. They'll put it in your nostrils. They'll put it in your mouth. They'll put it all over your chest. Like, yeah, no, you don't want to smell. I hate the smell of that stuff, bro. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
yeah, I'm good. No
worked
Vicks.
on an ambulance in a very, very Hispanic community about 15 years ago. And about this time of the year, you'd walk into a house and it just like
This reeks of Vicks. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
that,
I'm not a fan.
that's and if you can't get Vicks, they get Tiger Balm.
Yes. No, I'm not a fan, dude. Like that. Yeah, I can do without Vicks. I don't have it in my house. This household does not use Vicks as a cure. No, we do not. No.
um, I've got some, but like if I've got a cold, if I really like can't breathe through my nose, sometimes I'll use it. I'll put it under. But when my son was little, he used to have a lot of trouble sleeping if he was stuffed up. So so his mother would put it on the back of his neck and under his chin so that when he was sleeping he could breathe. And when he started to talk, he called it his neck medicine. So
Yeah.
we always knew that he'd want it because he'd asked for his neck medicine.
Right.
And
Right. Right.
even now I still use it occasionally, but um I find it a pleasant smell, but I could see where you're coming from. I could see where it would get old quickly if you smelled it all the time.
Gallons and gallons of the stuff. Like it just no.
I can understand that for sure.
As
Uh
a guy who's put off by the scent of like, what do you call that? Bengay, the stuff
Right.
that
Right.
my grandfather used to use it, and I'm just like, that is just revolting.
I
So
can
I
imagine.
get where you're coming
that's
from.
I can
close,
imagine.
pretty close smell. What was your first concert?
Oh, okay. There's a story for this one too. I'm sorry, guys. I'm full of stories.
Dude, go
That's
this is why we have you on the show.
that's
Okay.
the point.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
this is
so
exactly the yeah, this is
okay.
this is exactly why we wanted you back.
So I was a kid in Peru in the early 90s. Okay. And if you know anything about Peruvian history in the 90s, is that they had an insurgency all through the 80s. Okay. There was a group called Shining Path that caused a lot of grief to the Peruvian population at the time. They surrendered in 1994. All right. This is when the insurgency officially ended. In 1995, Phil Collins came to Peru and gave the first international concert that we've had in the longest time.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
And having memories of Phil Collins on stage, this was televised. This was a big deal
Yeah.
because not only it was just an international artist playing in Peru, it was kind of a sign of hope
Yeah. I
that the
can
country
I can
was
see that. Yeah.
moving on to something else because there was no international investment. We didn't have McDonald's. Like shortly after McDonald's came, they
yeah.
started opening franchises. Telephone companies came. It was a marked period of change in the country. But my memory of it was when Phil Collins came and just watching him play and just play the drums and watching him play, man, it's just something. It just came from a different place.
Oh yeah. I can
That's
totally
awesome.
Yeah, it's
That's
just,
awesome. I love the
yeah,
story behind it. And I love the idea that you got to watch Phil Collins play the drums. I saw an
man,
interview with him the other day, and they were asking about his singing career. And, he's been singing for 50 years, but
goodness
he
gracious.
said he is still, in his mind, a drummer first. That's where he started. And he said that is the one thing that he will do forever because it gives him, joy.
He started drumming I Don't Care Anymore You know the song "I Don't Care Anymore."
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh
you
yeah.
can, and as he was drumming this and singing it,
Oh,
that
yeah,
stays. That's the kind of song that stays with you if you're
yeah.
watching it live in
That's
that
Oh yeah.
context.
Yeah.
It's just something else.
I love that song. Absolutely.
Soda or pop?
I'm in the South, man, so it's soda. Well, no, I'm in Texas. It's Coke
It's
for
Coke.
everything. It's
Yeah,
Coke
it's
for
Coke.
everything. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that one's very regional for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the DFW. Everything's a Coke.
Yeah. What is the most used app on your phone?
YouTube. YouTube. It's part of my daily commute. I watch you guys on it. I catch up on all the toy stuff and all the geeky stuff, all the video game stuff. Yeah, it's got to be YouTube. It's
All
for
right.
sure.
um, what song plays when you walk on screen?
When I walk on screen,
Yeah, like what's your theme song? Like your wrestling entrance theme.
oh my goodness, man. Uh, I'm torn on that one because I'm an 80s kid and I love all the 80s music and the grunge and all that stuff. But I would say Linkin Park, anything by Linkin Park from the 2000s
All
would
right.
be my, yeah.
Um, I can't tell you how many times I listened to Hybrid Theory after I bought that CD. I
One
listened
of
to
my
that
favorite albums, yeah.
endlessly forever on a loop for I think 3 years.
Yeah, I think that probably was the first CD I ever bought with my own money.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. What number am I thinking of?
21. How far was I?
Pretty close, actually.
Oh shoot.
Um, describe the rest of your life in 5 words.
uh One hell of a ride.
There we go.
Ah, I like it. Nice. Um, aisle or window seat?
Window. Window. I
Ah,
am
man.
terrified of heights. And one way I feel in control is if I'm in the window and
Can see
I
what's
this is horrible, man. This is embarrassing, but I pretend that I'm flying the plane. And as I look through the window, the plane turns, I turn the plane. And that's how I feel in control. So I don't, so I
You
don't get
know,
scared.
I used to like to when I flew. I used to like to think, maybe maybe I could fly a plane someday. I got older. I'm like, nobody would let me fly a plane. No.
Yeah. It would be
Not
cool
especially not
though.
if other people are on the plane. No.
Yeah, it would be
Um,
cool.
um, I don't. I don't even know if I'd be safe to operate a hang glider. Okay,
Oh
so
man, that would
yeah,
be cool too. I just don't, it's just the heights part that,
that'll
keeps me
do it.
from that. But yeah.
Um, best action figure, favorite action figure.
All right. I'm a 118 guy, but if I was to choose a favorite action figure, it's actually a 6-inch figure. Do you guys remember the Toy Biz Spider-Man from 2021?
is that
No? Okay. This is a Spider-Man figure that came out before the movies from Toy Biz, and it had so much articulation on it that I had never seen anything like it. Like the fingers could move like
I
this.
remember seeing this figure
The
in Wizard
toe,
Toy Fair
there
magazine.
was a rocker on the toe that could go like
Yeah,
it had so much articulation. The thing was so posable. It's probably my favorite figure of all time, and
yeah.
it's not a 118 figure.
I
Believe it or not.
remember that Wizards Toy Fair.
Yes,
Every year they would
yes,
have
Kitty,
their
yes.
yes, their top 10 hottest toys. From the and that figure was on it for like I swear to God for like three issues in a row.
That's the
Um,
one. That's the one. That's how good of a
because
figure it is, and it's not 118.
yeah they had like a in one of the issues they had like a photo section with the and I'm like wow that thing can just make all the poses.
Well, they used it as a gag in Wizard magazine for the longest time. Like every time they did like jokes and stuff, that Spider-Man featured in a lot of the jokes that they did because it was just so posable.
And well, and imagine if that figure hadn't come out when it did, how much longer it would have taken before articulation became the end all and be all. Because it was after that that the Toy Biz figures started, they upped the articulation.
Yeah,
The other toy lines started upping articulation because they're like, oh, look what we could do. And
Yeah.
the
yeah,
engineering technology was coming so that it made it possible.
Yeah, because
yeah,
everybody at the time was chasing McFarlane because he was putting such good detail into the sculpt and paint apps, but the
yeah,
articulation was horrible on those
Yeah,
figures.
it didn't.
yeah. And they would break off too because they were statues basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
no,
then
I figured.
That's why
Yeah,
McFarlane figures are broken now. So yeah,
yeah.
and yeah, that Spider-Man was a game changer because they had changed, like everybody's like, oh, we can have good detail in sculpt and painting and articulation.
I had never seen anything in the hands before, like
Yeah.
because it had the wrists and the hands, and like the neck had like that rocker, and then it had the ab crunch and the rotation here on the swivel on the
yeah,
torso. Like it
I
had.
don't think there were any like comic book accurate poses that figure could not achieve.
That's true. Very, very true.
Like it could do the pose from the cover of McFarlane's Spider-Man issue
Yeah,
one,
the
and it could do all the Steve Ditko poses.
yep.
Um, and
Yeah.
it was that figure was a game changer.
I need to dig that out. I know I have it somewhere, but I don't know where. But that figure is amazing. Amazing,
Absolutely.
amazing. Hands down. Favorite figure.
All right. What is your favorite custom that you've made?
That's a tough one.
You've made a lot of good ones, so
That's a tough one, man. Uh, I think it would be one that I haven't finished yet. I'm working on an Optimus Prime.
Okay.
And I mean, I say I'm working on it, but this was 3 years ago, right? I haven't finished it.
yeah, you know what? Works in progress are
Work
works
in
in
progress.
progress no longer how long no matter how long they take to make.
Yeah.
This one has taken me a long time to do, because it has a lot of little figures that go with it, and then it has a lot. The trailer comes with other Transformers. It transports other Transformers in it,
No.
and it's just a huge. It's the size of a Rolling Thunder almost, probably a little bigger,
Nice.
and it has so many figures that goes with it. I haven't finished it, man. Like, because
Great art cannot be rushed.
that would be my favorite one, but it's not done yet.
Transformer customs are on a whole nother level. I've tried a couple times and it just
I've done a few, and while I was happy enough with the results, I'm like, that could have been better, but I was happy with it because boy, it could have been worse.
I AD has the only one that I've ever done that I've been happy with.
What was it?
It
I
was he repainted Shockwave from Transformers Dark of the Moon.
Oh, nice.
So it could match the look of the Shockwave hiss from the San Diego Comic Con set.
Great figure. I love that figure.
Yeah, because
Dark of the
I
Shockwave.
did not mind that the hiss tank didn't transform, but I wanted a Shockwave that I could pretend was the alt mode
Yeah,
or what was the robot mode, and so I got a Dark of the Moon Shockwave because that's what was in stores at the time, and Brian painted it to match
that's
that his
awesome,
tank.
man. Well, I need to see that sometime, man. Send me a picture. I'd love to take a look at that.
yeah, I've got it somewhere. I got it.
Yeah, yeah, no, that
I-
sounds
yeah.
great, actually. Makes me want to have
Um,
one. I might follow suit and just, make
Yeah,
one too.
I've got pictures of it somewhere. I'll have to dig them up.
That's cool.
All right.
your one geek grail. Let's say money's no object and it's completely open to you, whatever it is. Doesn't matter if it's a toy or a movie prop or
Hmm.
the damn screen used car from James Bond. I don't care.
Oh my goodness.
Let's just
You know,
pretend you
I'm
could get one geeky grail.
one geeky grail. I'm simple, but at the same time, I've never been able to find it. It's the Chap May Osprey.
Ooh,
Have you
boy.
guys ever seen it?
Yeah, I know
I've
what you're.
seen pictures.
I
Yeah, I'm
would
aware of it.
love that thing, and
Oh,
I can't find it. I
yeah. That chat
somebody
makes
from
if you
Mexico
get
was
it when it comes
offering
out.
me.
Yeah.
Somebody from Mexico had it, but he was asking a little too much than what I was willing to pay for it. But yeah, I would love it. I would love to have that thing.
Yeah. No, that's a good choice. That chat May stuff, man. If you don't get on it when it comes out, you don't ever see
Yeah,
that stuff ever
you'll
again.
never see it again. You'll
Yeah.
never see that thing again.
Yeah, you never see sales posts with. I mean, you do see sales posts with chatmate stuff, but it's always the
Figures.
figures they didn't want from the set they bought just for the vehicle.
Yeah. Well, and secondary to that, I've always wanted a Robo Skull, an original one,
Yeah.
but since Skeletron made a new Robo Skull, I might have gone a little bit overboard with that and gotten a few of.
There is no such thing as overboard with that thing.
Oh, I don't know, man. There's a closet full of them right now, and
Wait, how many do you have?
Uh-oh.
Uh oh. Uh oh.
hey, Sesame Street one. Ah. Two,
Nice.
three,
Oh.
Jesus.
four.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
man.
I'm get I'm gonna guess you have both the regular one and the special edition, right?
I have some special editions, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Five.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Six.
Wow. Holy shit. Are you kidding me? This is nuts.
Oh, that's gonna look fantastic if you can display those as a fleet. Oh,
It's
that's
gonna be a room full of scary red skulls everywhere.
Seven.
Jesus Christ.
Seven of them.
Holy
that's gonna look
shit.
fantastic when you can display those like hanging from the ceiling or something. Oh,
Oh, dude, I want to customize a few.
yeah,
Like not obviously not the special edition ones, but the
You,
regular ones.
yeah.
yeah, you should customize a few. And so this way, even if you mess one up, you have backups.
Dude, like, I mean, I
Oh
I
my
want to.
God.
I want one for
Seven Robo
Skeletor.
Skulls. Holy shit.
Yeah, man. Like, I got one just to make a Skeletor one. It has to be purple and yellow,
Yeah.
right? Uh, so that one's and then I want one for Death Head. You remember that Marvel character Death Head,
Oh yeah. Oh
which is
yeah.
blue and silver?
Yep.
I want one for him too. And then
Nice.
I want one for Hordak, the red and black.
Yep. You know what? Hordak is cooler than Skeletor, and I don't care who disagrees with me.
Yeah, I'll fight you on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I like certain characters that are skeletons. I feel like they deserve their own Robo Skull to fly around in. So I got a few to customize to make them in those colors.
Sweet.
That's
That
fine.
is amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
I really kind of do want one to do a stealth one.
Oh yeah. Like the Tumbler Black, right? Like that black matte one. Yeah, it would be cool.
I think that'd be awesome.
Somebody did one with an original Robo Skull at a JoeCon. It was completely what do you call it? Vacuum, not vacuum,
Back metalized.
back
The
metal.
chrome one.
You seen it?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think Ben has it.
that was amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, that would be sweet. Uh, let's see. Who is your favorite comic book artist?
Oh goodness, man. Well, everybody says Jim Lee or people say the painter Alex Ross.
Yeah, also.
Uh, but in my case, I would say Joe Madureira.
Oh yeah,
He
oh
did
yeah.
Battle Chasers, and he also did X-Men for a while,
Yeah, I was buying all of his X-Men issues.
and he also did Deadpool. He was one of the original artists for Deadpool for for a while. So I'd say him. I just like that stylized,
Dude,
graffiti.
the guy had a visual style that nobody
Yeah, it
could
was pretty unique.
nobody could touch.
Yeah,
Um,
same thing with Humberto Ramos. Like
oh
the
fuck
street
yeah.
art almost. Like
Oh
stuff
yeah.
like I always like that kind of style. So Joe Mad would probably be my favorite one.
All right. Nice.
Sweet. Your favorite music soundtrack?
Uh, Gladiator. I think it has to be the Gladiator soundtrack.
All right.
Is it James Horner? James Horner made it, right? I want to say it was by James Horner. But yeah, Gladiator for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure.
All right. Who is your favorite superhero?
Oh, I mean, it's either Batman or Superman for sure. Um, I'd say Superman.
All right.
That's the one I was gonna vote for. I'm like, well, if we can help you make a choice, Superman
Yeah,
all the way.
I like the boy in blue. You know,
Would you
Uh,
I
think?
like
Yeah.
hopeful and happy characters, I guess.
What'd you think of the preview?
Oh man, you want to see a grown man cry? I teared up. I teared up when I saw it. Nothing against the Cavill Superman. I liked the previous Superman a lot actually,
I did. I
but
did too.
this one has the same vibe as the Frank Quietly Superman. You
Okay.
know,
Superman for all seasons,
yeah, yeah. It has that All Stars, Superman All Stars.
or
Uh,
Superman, yeah, Superman all,
Yeah,
yeah. In
it
fact,
just had
James
that
Gunn
quality to
said
it.
that Superman All Star played a was a big influence on his handling of the
It
character.
shows because it's a modern way to tell Superman. Uh, like a lot of people say, well, he's too perfect. How do you write a character that's too perfect? Well,
Easily,
yeah,
if you know what you're doing, you can write
yeah,
him easily. I
you make
don't
him a beacon of hope in a world that's, just
shitty.
cynical and yeah, just I don't know. I like that kind of stuff.
Dude, I love that stuff. I don't need all dark and broody superheroes. It's occasionally okay. All right.
yes.
It's
Yeah,
just,
I thought it was fine.
but
Like the Snyder Superman was fine. I liked it. I actually
yeah,
like. I know a lot of people like shit on it, but I love the Snyder Superman.
I like just about every portrayal of Superman I've
Yeah,
seen online, over the years. I don't believe in comparing them. They're different actors, handle different
right.
things, different ways. Like they're doing their own take on it, but they're also going according to the script and the take that. So I have no problem with any of that. And no matter what, I will go see this in the theater because it's Superman.
Oh,
But
absolutely, man.
but I like the look of it, and I like the fact that they've introduced the Justice League into the movie with him. And I'll say this: I admire that Nathan Fillion is wearing the wig, so he's got the
For
comic
the Guy
accurate Guy
Gardner,
Gardner hair.
the
Yes.
Bobo
But
cut.
that fucking hair,
You gotta respect the commitment to how
I
that
do.
character
That's what I
looks.
mean. Is I love the fact that he's wearing the comic book accurate hair.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
that hair in no way, shape, or form should have ever existed in live action. And yet, I commend that they went with it
Oh, absolutely.
because
Like all I
that
want
hair
is
is just terrible. It's
all I
so
want is
terrible that I love that they did it.
Yes.
I want to feel the way Christopher Reeve made me feel as a kid, to
Yeah.
believe that a man can fly, right?
Right.
And that was the
Yeah,
feelings that I
that's,
got
yeah.
when I saw this Superman, this trailer. It's like a man can fly, and this is awesome. And
Yeah. I think it's gonna be good. I mean, James Gunn's doing it. He's not. James Gunn's not really known for putting out stinkers. So
no, he doesn't put out crap, and it just seems like it's going in the right direction, I think.
yeah.
But
So
yeah, no, absolutely, Superman.
yeah. I think it's. I think that's. Yeah. I'm really interested to see where they're gonna go with it. And my wife even said that she's looking forward to it because she's tired of going to DC movies where everybody's all dark and broody. And
Right.
I just can't do DC movies anymore because it's
Yeah, they probably need to lean in to the, godlike characters that are hopeful.
Yeah.
I think that would work.
You know
Uh,
what? I like the Snyder movies. I like Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. I like the 4 hour Snyder cut of Justice League.
yeah, I do
But
too.
they are not, to me, they are not rewatches. They are one or maybe two watch movies, but I can't watch them over and over because there's too much of. Firstly, I have to pay a lot of attention to it, which is okay,
Right.
but I'm less compelled to pay close attention to a movie that I know is just gonna feel heavy when I can, like, if I want something light and fun to watch, I will put on Guardians of the Galaxy or Captain Marvel.
Right.
Whereas
Yeah, yeah, for
I've
sure.
got to really, I if I want to watch a Marvel movie with intrigue and heavy plot, then I'll watch The Winter Soldier. But sometimes
Yeah, Captain America. Yeah.
I just want to see characters be loudmouths at each other and make me laugh. Um,
Yeah, DC, I would love to see a Kingdom Come movie, where they or Superman versus the Elite, where they explore that. Is there
I'm unaware of this. I don't even know who the Elite is. So
oh, okay. Well, there's a animated movie about it. I would recommend you watch it. It's really good. It explores that question. Is there a place for a benign Superman, a Superman that believes in not killing and upholding, justice? Is there a place for that, or should you have anti-heroes just run around and do, justice their way? And it explores that question, and it does it in a great way where it just showcases how necessary Superman is. uh,
interesting.
it's really good. It's a really good animated movie, and it's a comic book too. If they were to make a live action movie, I would love it.
And what's the name of it?
It's called Superman versus the Elite,
Superman versus.
and the members of the Elite are every anti-hero trope that you have heard of. It includes people like, like with the same mentality as Wolverine, or like anti-heroes like the Punisher. Like this is that same mentality of heroes where they just believe in killing and just doing what they want. It's in contrast to what Superman would do, and they clash, and it's great.
Gotcha. I've got it.
That's the one.
Uh,
Yeah,
yep.
Superman versus the Elite.
Yeah. So um,
I'll have to
yeah,
look.
it's on um,
HBO or Max.
yeah, yeah. It looks like so. Oh wait, no, actually,
No,
this one is not included with my Max subscription,
really. Oh, dude,
but it's also only $4 to rent. So
man,
um, but yeah,
I
it's
am probably buying that on Blu. I don't have it, but I would probably put it on Blu-ray. That one's worth owning.
yeah, it's $11.69 to buy it. It is $3.99 to rent it.
Oh, nice,
Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that.
Yeah, so I
nice.
will rent it because I am curious. I like the look of the characters in the background of this art. So
Yeah, the characters on there are very similar to what was it called? The Authority. You ever read The Authority?
Yes.
They're very similar to The
yeah,
Authority.
Yeah. Okay.
nice.
So,
Yeah.
but of
I
course,
really like the
DC
authority.
does well at the time. DC, they own The Authority now, but back then they did not have the rights to The Authority, so they made copycat characters of The Authority. And it's like, well, what if anti-heroes were to, butt heads with Superman? They're both heroes, but they
Right.
approach things completely differently, and what would happen. And it's a great character exploration of that. Like,
Okay, I just rented it, so it'll be on my watch list.
let me know what you think, man. You message
I
me,
will.
tell me what you think, because I would love to know.
All right. I think that's about it for this particular episode. Unfortunately, I have to get going because I got to work tomorrow.
Oh,
So
man.
That's all right. I'm just glad we had Panama back on the show.
yeah,
So
Hey, guys, it's always good to see y'all.
absolutely, man. And yeah, it's been too long. So we will definitely have to have you back on the show. When you want to be on, just let us know
Absolutely. Whenever. I'm flexible.
anytime. Okay, and as always, please do that fun social media stuff. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Let us know what you thought about this show and the stuff that we talked about. We do get back to everybody's comments. And as always, thanks for watching.
Thanks, everybody.
Hey,
Thanks,
thank you all.
Panama, for being with us.
Oh no, thanks. A pleasure, guys. Nice to see you.
Thanks for joining us.